Hi, everybody. I just wanted to jump on and do an update. It's since my last one. It's been a couple weeks. A lot has been going on. So I guess I'll just start from the last video and bring you into the plan and what's going on. Since my last video, I've had more CTs, more MRIs. I met with my new radio oncologist, Dr. Schultz, David Schultz at Princess Margaret, um, to go over what the plan is. So, of course, we didn't know whether we were going to do radiation, a trial period of some program, or the 16 weeks of chemo. So, through this last couple weeks or week, we've been trying to figure out which one to do. Now, people might be like, "Well, figuring out why isn't it easy? Just a plan, all of that." No, because they're trying to figure out the best plan for me, which is amazing. I'm gonna talk a little bit about second opinions and things too before I get into mine, because that was always a big thing when I first got sick in 2013. That was pancreatic cancer. Um, they told me there's nothing they could do. Right? You hear cancer and like, oh, surgery, just get it and get rid of it, and it's just not the case with some. So when you're told there's nothing that can be done except treatment, it's scary, and you want another opinion and you want all of that. So I started asking those questions. So there's a place in Texas I called that was good with pancreatic cancer, and for my imaging, they wanted $50,000 for my scans to be done, which I obviously didn't have. What you need to know is the scans that get done in Ontario, you actually own those. Those are yours. So Princess Margaret was actually going to send my scans down to Texas for free. So you own all of that, which is amazing, and it's free. Uh, so I was asking about second opinions. What you find out here is you have second opinions, third opinions, fourth opinions, and why? It's because it's not just one doctor you're dealing with. That doctor is part of a team, who is part of a board, who is part of something bigger, and all of those people sit and communicate and go over cases. For me, for cancer and that Princess Margaret, it's called a tumor board, and it's a board of people, all the specialists, all the professionals, all the top people in their departments, and they go over people's cases like mine. So when I first got there, my case was presented. A doctor presents the case to the board, and they start talking about it. What's the best option? What should we do? All of that. So you want to talk about second, third, fourth opinions? That's what happened. I found down in Texas, it's just one doctor, and he's going to make that decision. And we never ended up doing that route. I was very confident. Once you figure out how the healthcare system works in Ontario, it's quite amazing. So you get those opinions. So you want your case to be at that tumor board, and mine was. And then while I was in treatment, I wasn't talked about at that tumor board. And then after, they reassessed me again at that tumor board. So that is kind of what's been happening with me throughout the other situations. My first doctors were Dr. Trevor Reitman and Dr. Chea Schwartz, and they were my surgeons. And they were phenomenal, and they are part of that board, and they actually present my case. I've been passed off to Dr. Schultz because he is a brain and spine specialist for oncology and radiation. So that's why I'm with him. It gets a little scary, but then you realize they're all part of the same team and communicating with each other. It is a great system, and they're there to do the best for you. So there's second opinions and kind of how that works in Ontario. So saying all of that, that was all going on in the last week. The doctors were all communicating. I don't want to say I put them in touch with each other, but after meeting, you meet with your doctor and you're like, okay, what's next? What are we going to do? And they're like, okay, we're going to figure out what we're going to do. My Dr. Schultz, the radiologist, he wants to do radiation first. And anyways, that's what's going to happen. So we'll get into my plan. He wants to do radiation. There was some concern with radiation before about my bones. And things around it. There's actually kind of even more concerns with that because with a bunch of veins and arteries and things cut out that had cancer in them around my pancreas, it is so hard surgically to put those back together, not have problems down the road. You know, there's limits to doctors' hands that they can do. So I think I have like 20 tiny little clamps all in my body, which connects arteries, which connects my bowels to my stomach. Right, like I don't carry any bags around, or everything works fine in my bowels and digestive and all that. So I'm very lucky. But there's a lot of clamps in there. So there's a big concern if he hits those clamps with radiation. it's not good. So there is a very, very, very small margin that they can do radiation on. And Dr. Schultz, I love his confidence. I love seeing confidence in doctors, and they see it in me, and they're like, "We're going to do this." He said, "He can get rid of my pain," which would be amazing. Um, how many rounds of radiation? With my pancreatic cancer, I had 28 rounds of radiation. I thought that was a lot and heavy, and it was. This time, I'm only going to have four of the heaviest radiation doses, I guess you can get, and it'll be on that area where the tumor is. And he seems pretty confident in that. So that supersedes the trial period, which I'll talk about. There was two trial periods they were looking at for me. Didn't actually qualify for either, which is a good thing. One of them was with pancreatic cancer. If I would have been on the chemo I was on and I had a reoccurrence within 6 months, I would have qualified for this special trial. Because it's obviously been longer than 6 months, I don't qualify for that. So um, that is kind of a good thing and maybe something for the future. Also, I didn't qualify because it is just metastasized into one area. If there was a lesion on my liver, there is a trial period for if it's in two spots. That works really well. So I guess it's good I don't qualify for that either. So the first thing we're going to do is the radiation at Princess Margaret. Then we're going to observe and probably have more scans after that, see how that reacts, and then talk about things moving forward. So it kind of sounds up in the air, who knows? But again, it is the doctors and the specialists continuously monitoring and analyzing step by step and what actions to take. It's just not like do this and we'll see in a while. So again, the confidence you get from the healthcare system and the professionals who are out there is amazing. A lot of the problem with me too is pancreatic cancer and mm, reoccurrence. So it can come back. So my doctors and we're all thinking you don't want to do everything you can right now because what if it comes back again in a year somewhere else and you've exhausted all your options. So again, they're thinking ahead, second opinions, always on top of things. Let's do this, see how it works. We think we can do it, and then we'll still have options if it comes back later somewhere else. So again, that's part of the system, that's part of the plan. You have a whole board behind you up there. They're professionals, the smart people, and they're dictating kind of how things are going to go. So that's, I guess, where I am right now. I start that radiation next week. So the 6th, 7th, and 8th is my radiation at Princess Margaret. Very, 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 very intensive. The doctor, again, seems to think it'll work. And then we'll probably do scans and monitor going forward after that, and would still have the options of chemo and anything else. So with the reoccurrence with me, it's going to be one of those always observe and always monitor and see what happens. So it's good news, not the best news, but um, we're all confident. So I'll keep you up to date. I'll let you know how radiation goes, and we'll go from there. So I want to thank everybody again for the support. We feel it for sure. It helps. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So thank you again.